Hey guys, this is Ayush Aggarwal and this is my first video over the third semester's course that is on Intro to Microbiology. Well, there are some 8 infectious agents that I'm gonna talk about in this video, and before I get through it, let's go to some simple and interesting questions that will make you enjoy this video. So what is it that infects you? Well, you may think some simple answers, so I'll just ask simple questions to that answers that come in your mind. That is it just the bacteria or virus? Or you're thinking bacteria or virus? Oh yes, only these two things are there that may infect a human cell. Or maybe there's some intelligent guy present over there and he may think algae and fungi. Okay, yes. So algae, fungi, bacteria and virus. These are the only thing that a normal student, a medical student may think. But when you come to the third semester and you need to know microbiology, you need to know more and more infectious agents. So I'll just tell you what I know. Okay, so what if I ask you who is the smallest infectious agent? Well, you may think that it's something like virus, maybe, because till now we have read just the virus or the bacteria, and between these two, I think virus is the smallest particle that infects the human body. But no, you need to know something greater than virus. Let me write it down. Prions. Yes, this may not be something new to you, but yes, its composition, what is it made of, how it infects the human cells, this may be new to you. So to start with the intro to the prions, I'll just tell you the simple points or the basic points over it. Well, first of all, there's no DNA or RNA present in prions. It's only made up of protein particles that are present in human body. But the thing is that it is beta plated. So the beta plated arrangement allows it to infect the human cell, whereas the human cell that produces the proteins are in alpha helical arrangement. So these are the differences between prions and the normal proteins. These are not any infectious particles that are something different or real organisms. These are not organisms. These are just protein particles that when enters the human cell tend to infect it. And if you talk about the diseases caused by prions, these are, for example, transmissible spongiform encephalitis. So if you can note it down, I can repeat it. Transmissible spongiform encephalitis and mad cow disease. You may go into detail through Google or your books, but over here I can just tell you some simple things. Great. So now you know the first infectious agents that are not made up of DNA or RNA or that are not organisms. So this is the second infectious agent that is present in the cell itself, and these cells are mainly bacterial cells. So these plasmids infects the bacterial cell, and what are these? These are extra chromosomal DNA rings that are present in the bacterial cytoplasm. They have the capability of replicating on their own. Let me draw a simple diagram to illustrate how plasmids react to to infect the bacterial cell. Okay, so this is a diagram showing a simple bacterial cell that is a protozoa, and this over here is the protozoan DNA that is present in a circular form, the circular DNA, and this small portion that is a look-alike of this bigger DNA portion is the plasmid. This plasmid is the extra chromosomal part of the bigger chromosome that is present in the bacterial cell. And this infects by producing toxins and producing adhesin molecules. Well, if we talk about adhesin molecules, these are produced by these plasmids, and these are the extra DNA fragments that are present on the plasmid, a small portion of the plasmid that tends to produce small bubble-like structures called the adhesin molecules on the surface. These stick to the surface and infect this bacterial cell. So these portions that you see over here are adhesin molecules that are produced by the plasmid. So these was the only things that you need to know about plasmid. That is the second infectious agent. Okay, so now we come to the third infectious agent, that is a bacteriophage. This is not something new to you. We have read this many and many times. This is a class of virus that sticks to the surface of the bacterial cell or the human cell and passes its DNA or RNA that tends to infect the human cell or the viral cell. Okay, so now I have a simple diagram for a bacteriophage and how it infects a bacterial cell. So I take a bacteria, Cornylbacterium diphtheria. So this is an example for a Cornylbacterium diphtheria that is being infected by a bacteriophage. So you can see that a bacteriophage, this is the protein coat, is transferring its DNA. This is the orange portion. This is the viral DNA to the bacterial cell. This is the bacterial chromosome or the bacterial DNA that is present in the circular form, and this viral portion tends to join this the chromosome that is already present in the bacteria and start producing one of its kind again and again, and this is the way they replicate and finally infect or rapture the human cell or the bacterial cell. Okay, so now we come to an infectious agent that was new to me, that is named transposomes, and it is also known as jumping genes. These are the DNA fragments that are similar to plastids, but these are uh, termed as jumping genes. Okay, so now we have a bacterial cell, and this is the bacterial chromosome, the circular chromosome. This is the plastid, and over here we have the DNA, that is transposome, that are termed as jumping genes. These jumping genes can move to different portion of the chromosome, move to the plastid, or maybe it may be present in the plastid and move to the bacterial cell's chromosome. This can go anywhere, and by this these plastids may transfer to another cells. This may be some complicated process by which plasmids can be transferred to the another cell, but over here we have to talk about only transposomes. These DNA may contain some mis um, may I say in the infectious qualities in itself. Great. So in this video we have covered the non-cellular infectious agents of the human cell. The first was prions, the smallest infectious agent. Then comes the plasmid that is present in the bacterial cell, that is smaller than the chromosome, the circular chromosome of the bacterial cell, but is a replica of it. Then the bacteriophage, that is a virus that transports its DNA into the cell and then infects it. And then comes the transposomes that are also termed as jumping genes, and these are also involved in the infection of a human cell or the bacteria. So these were all that were discussed today. Sorry if I missed up something. Like the virus, that is also a non-cellular infectious agent, but I'll discuss it in the second video that I'll make on this infectious agents. And then we'll discuss about the cellular infectious agents that may infect. There are total 8 and we have discussed 4. So thanks a lot and stay tuned.